Hey friends, it's Summer with hammondsnest.com, and I have a precious Easter craft that I hope inspires you today. So I want to show you all the steps, but I'm going to speed up most of it and just kind of walk you along what you need to do if you want to give this one a try. Okay, what I'm using here first is white chalk paint. I'm using the color Fluff by Dixie Belle, and I found this cute little miniature vintage reproduction tobacco basket at Hobby Lobby, and I am just dry brushing it with white chalk paint. Now, the next step you're going to see me do is I'm pulling out an ordinary canvas drop cloth. I picked these up and love to craft with them. I'm cutting out two kind of organic looking triangles that are going to be glued together to create a carrot. So, of course, this canvas drop cloth is paintable, and that's what we're going to do. But what we're essentially going to be doing is creating an Easter scene inside of this little miniature tobacco basket. So I'm using just a custom chalk paint that I mixed up with some Dixie Belle colors. I used a little terracotta, and then I used a darker brown to kind of create this more muted kind of orange, which is more my style, but you could do it any way you want. But I am just getting a coat of paint on each side, letting that dry, and now I have some regular standard polyfill. I have a hot glue gun with my specialty glue, which I use the Surebonder fabric glue. Most often when I'm working with gluing fabrics together, is it holds a little bit better than regular hot glue. And so I'm just kind of piecing that together here, working in sections. You may find an easier way to do this, but it's kind of a smaller carrot. You can kind of tell with it up against the size of my hand how little this is. So it's not much polyfill that you have to put in there, but I really wanted the fluff to be further down. And so that's kind of what you see me doing here. So I'm just getting it all glued together, getting it stuffed, and then I'm leaving the top open because I have some beautiful greenery that I'm going to put. Of course, you can't have a carrot without greenery in the top. I found this was part of a swag at Hobby Lobby, and I just took a few pieces off of it, and I'm stuffing it down in there. And then I'm just going to put some regular hot glue down in there and kind of squeeze it and let it set. After that is set, I'm going to add a couple more embellishments to this beautiful little carrot. And I'm going to put some moss glued at the top there. Then I have a little piece of like scrap, just ripped fabric that I'm tying a teeny tiny bow on. Going to glue that on top as well. And then I'm taking some of that brown paint that I use to kind of dull my orange chalk paint. It's the Burnt Umber color by Folk Art. And I am just finger painting. So I'm just kind of giving this a little bit of a rustic, more primitive type style look, and putting that in a couple places to antique it. So once that's finished, now we can kind of start doing some other things to build our scene. I also picked up these moss bunnies at Hobby Lobby. They come 3 to a pack. They have the American moss there, which I love. I love the movement on the American moss. And I'm just going to start building the scene. So a little bit of hot glue and gently dabbing down my American moss. I don't want to glue it all in place. I like the movement this stuff has, kind of very organic, natural looking. Then I'm going to glue my moss bunny down. And then I'm actually going to use the same kind of fabric that I used on my carrot, just to make a tiny little fabric scrap bow for that bunny. I glued my carrot down as well, and now I have these cute little eggs that I'm putting into play. I really think it's all come together nicely, and I love the way the colors kind of work together. So I have one little blank space up there in the top right corner of this. So I decided to add a little Easter sign. And I used a cedar wooden shim, cut it to size, pulled out all the colors I had been working with, and finger painted some more. So I took the white chalk paint, the Burnt Umber Folk Art acrylic paint. I took a color called Vintage Duck Egg and a color called Sea Glass by Dixie Belle. And I just dusted that all on there. And what that did was that tied into all of my egg colors. Lastly, I cut a little design that says Easter Blessings on my silhouette, and it's just white permanent stick vinyl, and I'm making that custom little sign. So I'm going to burnish that, get that to stick down really well, use a little bit of hot glue, put it right in place. And with the addition of this cute little sign, which ties in all of the colors, I think our creation is complete. I love the natural look that this gives off. It's totally my style, but I just hope you're inspired to do something similar. If you do, I would absolutely love to know. I hope y'all have a blessed Easter season, and you'll come back and visit soon for even more creative ideas. Bye, y'all.